Well folks, how you doing? We are back on Brora Beach. I've got a 3 morning after working this morning. I was in work at, well, I set off at 4:30, started at 5 o'clock. We've got our last competition of the year just up onto the golf course here. So I took the rods up with me and thought, you know what, I'm going to spend the morning out on the beach. So it's just gone 10 o'clock, tide's about halfway up. It's absolutely racing in here. The sea is manky. I've already had one cast and I'll play that now. So you might see me unclipping the line there. My back wind is broken on the reel. There's a pile of weed on there. No, that's not a great start. I'll get it in. Oh my word. I think I've casted into the biggest amount of weed out there, I think. But we'll get it in. Hopefully. I'll go down the beach and get this. Man alive. I think I'm pulling in half the North Sea here. This may be a very short session indeed. Oh, jeepers. Oh my word. There's a clump of weed coming in here that's absolutely not handy. Quite strange because the beach is pretty much spotless. I thought this was the cleanest bit of the beach looking here, so she's getting there, she is coming, slowly but surely. It looks like a tail of something I'm seeing. It's behind the biggest lump of weed you've ever seen, like. That's the lump of weed that just came in. We've got a flounder, and would you believe it? Oh, you little dancer. Flounder can wait, but look at that wee fella, a wee turbot. In fact, yeah, it is. Can feel the roughness on his back there. Oh, jeepers, fish juggling here. Yeah, just a tiny wee turbot. Great to see it. Fantastic wee things, but beautiful. You see his wee eye there, and just so camouflaged. They're amazing wee things. So he's safely back. Now we'll get this fella out as well. So that's not a bad wee flounder either. Not bad for the first cast. Oh, for goodness sake. Not bad for the first cast. Just another nice wee flatty. Just lip hooked there, so he'll go back as well. Now I've got some serious gardening to do. My word. Cast it a different direction this time. So yeah, as you can see, we're already into fish for the first cast. The sea, like I say, is manky. The leads are getting dragged round. I've got a 6-ounce lead in the big rod. It's dragged round about 40 yards already. There's a 3-ounce fishing in closer on the weir rod, and it's been dragged about 20 yards in probably 10 minutes as well. So a lot of weed kicking about, but you know, it's a nice wee wave for flatties. It's a nice grey overcast day, so I think we will get fish. It's just going to be a bit of a mess with weed, so the bites might not be, you know, too noticeable, but we will get plenty of bites. I'm sure we're going to get more fish. Today's bait's just salted mackerel, just the usual. Just banging the little rod out, maybe about 50 yards, just beyond the white water you can see here. We've got maybe 45 yards of white water, so just on the back edge of that. The big rod's fishing further, it's about 80-85 yards. And like I say, grip leads on both, just try to hold bottom. It's not holding bottom, there's just absolutely no way. It seems like the tide is running down the beach to the south, so it's just picking up the leads and walking with them. But you know what, they're covering ground. As long as the hooks are free and the weed is on the line, then we're fishing regardless. So yeah, that's where we're at. The big rod's due to come in a minute, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the right hand rod in and then casting it on the left side of the one that's walking to the right. So it's just on a conveyor belt all the time. Once this one comes round so far, I'll get it in, get the weed taken off it, see if there's any fish in it and fire it out again. That first cast was out on the wee rod for maybe about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I hadn't even put the rig on the big rod, and there was fish on it straight away. I could see the bangs on it straight away, so there is fish there. The big rod might be fishing too far out, so I might cast it the next time round a lot closer in, but we'll go and get this one in anyway. It is like a clothesline of weed. It's on the line though, so it's not so bad. She is coming though. It's the poor wee rod that I feel sorry for. This thing can handle it. This is my rock rod that I use for all the rock marks and that, so shooters. Give myself a face wash here with the weed. But yeah, I use this, so it's got 80-pound nylon on it, braid, I beg your pardon. So yeah, it can handle this, no bother. It's actually a good workout for the rod actually. When I was over at Port Mahomet Lighthouse, Tarbert Ness Lighthouse on Monday night, the rod went over with a fish and broke the top eye, so I done a bit of a homemade repair on it myself and yeah, got it fixed. So it's a good workout pulling this flipping lump of weed in, that's for sure. And we've got another flounder on here. Just another wee flounder. And a ton of weed that's no handy, like. Just another wee flatty. So just another wee one. Nothing big. But yeah, not a bad wee fishy. That's fish number 3. Oh my word, gardening here again. I can't hear what you're saying, Mark, sorry pal. So we'll just get this bang back out. So again, that one's dragged to the right, so we'll bang this one out to the left again. And thankfully the weed is on the line. The hooks have been clear on both casts, so there's obviously a trough of weed in there somewhere. There we go, a wee bit shorter this time, about 70 yards that one. Right, I'll get you back on screen in a second. So you're not going to see much of the beach today. We've got like a sort of low smog all around the place, but yeah, busy with dog walkers so far. You'll see quite a few picking about, and all that is not weed, it's actually foam that's appeared on the beach. But yeah, right grey, dank, overcast day, but it's dry and it's nice. So well folks, you'll see all that weed right there. That's what I just took in off one cast, but it's on the, oh nice, a big seal just popped up right on top of my big rod, exactly where it landed. Oh, happy days. I'll be coming in the scent of it, so there's not going to be a fish anywhere near that, I don't think. Right, try and give myself 5 minutes now, catch my breath back. The safe fishing's supposed to be relaxing. I'm absolutely knackered running about the beach. So I do have a third rod. I've got my light spinning rod. I was going to be chucking out a wee 1 ounce weight, getting that battered up. That was a bite there, by the way. You might have seen it just shudder a wee bit. So that wasn't the pull down of the weed and then the bounce back once the weed's released from the water. That was a fish. So yeah, it'll just be more of a little flatties, I think. Nothing on the big rod though, I'm not seeing many bites on it at all. But the wee rod in amongst all this wave and that, it's really getting quite a few knocks. So I think I'm going to fish the tide up. We've got another 25 yards to go up the beach yet. So when the tide comes in, we'll fish the top and then I'll probably fish it down a wee bit for an hour or so at the back end of the tide. Depending on what's showing, there might not be much showing. You might get sick of me catching wee ones, but you never know. We might get something decent. It'd be nice to see the rod slam over with a trout or something, but just need to play it by ear. That's a fish there on the wee one. Yeah, you seen that? I'll just zoom you in up there so you can keep an eye on it yourself. That wee rod there is just... There's a couple of nice wee pools in that flatty bites, you'll see them. I'll just try and zoom in again for you. Handy thing we're using this is a Galaxy S24 Ultra, so the camera on it's pretty good. You can zoom in on that, and just a wee plug-in microphone at the side. Still trying to find a microphone that I'm happy with. These are kind of mind of a Holly something Mark 2s or Lark 2s or something, M2s. Oh, that's a good bite. You see that one there? That's a nice bite in the wee rod. So we'll get that in a minute. There's I don't want the flatties on there for too long, just in case they swallow the hooks. I do have a disgorger in that there, just one I made up myself. It's like a shepherd's crook, and just a wee kink in it so I can push the hooks out and that. But the longer they stay on, the more they'll take it down into their gullet, and I like making sure they go back. Oh, that's a better bite. Yeah, I think I'm going to get this one in, I think. Let's see what it is. I know there's going to be weed on it, but that was definitely a decent bite, so I think we'll get this in a second. There's something there, I can feel something banging. There is weed on it as well though, unfortunately. Just picked it up there now. It's coming though. Yes, there's definitely a big clump of weed on it, but definitely felt something, unless it was a gripper coming through, maybe ripples in the sand or something. Yep, we have a flatty. So we got them out. Another wee flatfish, not a bad one. That one's just 26 centimetres, so yeah. Hopefully get this wee fella back. He's off, no problem at all. So that flatty took two hooks. Well folks, it's starting to clear up a little bit now. The waves are calming down just a fraction now as it starts climbing up the steeper part of the beach. But yeah, the fog is lifting and the sun is starting to poke through, so absolutely glorious day to be out again. So glad I came out. not just a few fish I've had already. It's been lovely to be out, just refreshing the soul once again. Just can't beat it. It's just to win the lottery, even though I don't do the lottery. If I won the lottery, I'll be doing this every day, rain, sleet or snow. It's just something about it, it's just lovely. There we go, just over 30 centimetres, can't quite give myself 31. A nice wee flounder that one, pulled the rod right over that one. So I don't have my microphone on, I was in the middle of charging my phone up. But yeah, a lovely wee fish. We'll take you down and we'll get this one back. So we'll get this fella back. Like I say, that was maybe 20 yards out maximum, so I'll just stick him there. He's away back, off like a bullet. Off like a bullet. But yeah, best flatty of the day, that one. Cracking wee flounder. Biggest one I've caught on this beach in a while actually. So yeah, about 30.5 centimetres. So not a monster by the Scottish standards at all, but for this beach, a really decent fish. So yeah, very, very happy with that. And like I say, I flicked that maybe 20 yards, just in the very first breaking wave. So it was right in amongst the white water and that. So yeah, we'll stick another one back out there. I think I was fishing beyond the area where the fish are. They're right up close and about the breaking waves now. So yeah, fishing really close. I might set up this wee spinning rod as well and just have a wee light sort of ½ ounce weight and a single hook and fish it in there as well. It'll be quite good sport, I think. So yeah, big rod's starting to dance now as well. So hopefully that's him coming back onto the bite, because for the last 20 minutes, well maybe even 40 minutes actually, there's not been much at all. So that's fish number 6. We'll see how we go. So that's literally 20 yards at the very most. So I've got the wee spinning rod set up as well. Another one fishing right in close here. It's just a single hook, well, a wee ½ ounce weight. And I've got that fishing literally 15-20 feet out into the breakers there. Right in close. It's just a single hook on that. So I've got the weight above with a flowing trace behind it with a single hook, and it's maybe about 4 foot long with a single cube of mackerel on it, just to see if there's anything across the edge here. The bigger rod's fractionally further out, and then the bigger one again is as far as I could bang it out there. So probably a good 85-90 metres, about 100 yards maybe. Yeah, quite happy with the rod repair. You can see on the top of that one, that big rod, it is 2 seconds. You can see it's pink. That's my daughter's nail varnish. So yeah, quite happy that it's repaired quite well and it's going to hold. So I was getting more and more confident with the cast, and was able to absolutely bang that out as hard as I could, and yeah, it was fine. So yeah, all good. Well folks, it's been a cracking wee morning so far. Been here 2 hours, got an hour till high tide. and lots of flukes, a couple of nice ones around the 30 centimetre mark. A nice wee bonny wee turbot. Delighted catching that wee fella. I'd love to catch a bigger one obviously, but sun's sort of bursting through this cloud now, and since it has, the fishing's tailed off a bit. It seems to have gone a wee bit quieter, but that might be the state of the tide as well, getting into the last hour. So hopefully at high tide things will pick up again, and then once that we get that wee bit of slack at the very top. So the plan is to fish it another 2 hours, and that'll give me an hour on the way back as well, and then I'll be off back home to do some housework and whatnot before my beautiful wife gets home from work. So yeah, cracking morning so far. Could go home just now a very, very contented and happy guy, but I'm going to stick it out for another couple hours and see if we can't get something a bit bigger and better. But yeah, all the fish clean as a whistle, beautiful things, no lice in them or nothing. Really, really beautiful fish. The rods are bouncing away there with the waves, but occasionally you will see a good rattle. This middle rod, the bass rod, very sensitive, seen plenty of bites on it. I think there's another one just there, look. The big rod I think is fishing too far out, in all honesty. I'm about 90-100 yards out there with 3 hooks. It wouldn't be so bad with a bigger bait, but I've only got cubes of salt and mackerel, so got a couple of bits in each. Not really expecting anything off that big rod. I have had a couple, was it one flounder off it, I think it was, so it has caught. Yeah, there is taps on that big rod, I'm seeing it there, but nothing major. So yeah, we'll just I'll enjoy my cup of tea, sit in my box and just yeah, enjoy watching these rods. It's quite therapeutic, this. But yeah, loving being out again. If you haven't done it, do it. If you're thinking about it, I mean, literally I've parked at my work sheds, which are about 150 yards from where I am just now. Nice easy walk. Even Brora itself, you can park up at the golf course to the far side, just on the edge of the village, walk through the golf course on a path, and you can come out maybe about 200 yards further back along there, 300 yards maybe. That's where I was on my last video over there, and literally it's from where you park the car, 200 yard walk down the hill, and it's only a slope really. It's not much of a hill, through the links, and then you're onto the beach. Nice easy access. You're fishing within 5 minutes of the car, and easy to get your gear down. So if you're thinking about coming and trying fishing for the first time, this is a very easy way to do it. Just the cheap rods. That big rod is an MTI 300, I think it is. I was given that by my Uncle John, but I use that for rough ground. It's a beast of a thing. It's a wonder it doesn't pull the plug out the bottom of the ocean, I think. The middle one's a bass rod. It cost me about £80, but I've seen them on Marketplace for 25 quid, Facebook Marketplace. This spinning rod cost me about 50 quid back 25 years ago. These ones are about 30 quid now, so you can be fishing spending next to nothing. It's well worth trying it. You don't need to be casting far. You literally seen me cast these 2 rods on the right here, no more than 30 yards. In fact, one of them was a backhand flick. So you don't need to be casting, 200 yards, 100 yards, whatever. You can be fishing right close in, especially on a beach. You're going to have fun with the kids. It's all about getting a decent enough bait. So get some mackerel. You can buy frozen mackerel online. Just cut it into cubes, stick it in a box, cover it in salt, and that's your bait. It keeps for ages. You can defrost it, refreeze it, everything else, and you can have hours and hours of fun. If you've got kids, best way to get them into fishing. Take them flounder bashing. It is so good fun. You're almost guaranteed to catch, depending on tides and whatnot, and where you go. But you're looking for a good clean beach, surf beach, and that was a good knock on that big rod there. There's no wave there. So yeah, looking for a good clean beach and just a couple of hooks on it. You don't need anything flashy, just a couple of wee tails on it, 12 inches coming off your main line, and flick it out there and sit and wait. But yeah, I remember flatty bashing when I was a kid during the school holidays. We went with a friend of the family called Red Geordie, and we used to hand line actually, the wee crab lines. Just a wee bit of lugworm on that, and we used to throw it in just at the edge of the water, and we would be picking up flounders, some really lovely flounders, just with a hand line. It was a thrill to feel that pull through your hand. Just brilliant, but it got us hooked on fishing at such a young age. Be out on the beaches with my dad and my uncles. They were always out, they loved their fishing. But my Uncle John, he's out all the time, just loves it. Cracking fisherman too. He do all sorts. We do the beach fishing, locks, boat, spinning, fly, you name it, we'll do it. We just live and breathe fishing. So so I'm going. Think you got a wee bit of a fright with the golf ball. Hopefully that's him taking it. Oh, he's away over there now. Oh, for goodness sake. Any more golf balls lying about? Well folks, it's gone absolutely dead as a dodo here. It's gone very quiet for the last hour or so. We're almost at high tide now. For the last hour I've hardly had a bite. Had a couple of wee knocks, couple of wee rattles, but nothing. Very, very quiet for the last hour. It was so manic when I first came. I was running about like an idiot. There was fish rods going and bites going everywhere, and moving the rod back up the beach, and oh, it was just pandemonium. But it's gone really quiet as the tides come up this bank here. It seems to be that way with flatty fishing. As you get to the last hour of the top of the tide, it just seems to drop off, and then it'll be quiet for the first hour after as well, and then it'll pick up again on the drop. So yeah, it's one of those. I don't know whether I'm going to stay the 2 hours after. If I can pick something up, then I might be tempted to stay, but it seems to have gone very quiet. So I will sit it out. I've still got half a flask of tea there, so I'll sit it out for another half an hour, see if anything takes, any bites of that, and in the meantime I will take you back if I get anything. Well, folks, much better turbot that one. But it's a brill that one, there's no bumps on its back. But yeah, not a bad wee fishy at all, that fella. Very clean, there's a wee touch of blood there, the hook was well down. In fact, he took two of them. But yeah, beautiful fish. Very smooth on the back, not like a turbot where they're very, very bumpy. So yeah, that one's pretty much smooth as a baby's bum, that one. So yeah, lovely wee brill, that one. That's made my day, that one. That's lovely. I've caught a few brill in my time, but not many. That's definitely made my day. I actually thought it was a turbot when it came in and all that weed. But yeah, it's a brill, nice and smooth. A turbot's very bumpy across the back. That was as smooth as. So yeah, beautiful fish. Delighted with that. Hopefully we might get a couple more now. Well folks, that's it for another wee trip out on the beach. What a brilliant day. Absolutely fantastic. I'm so delighted. A PB brill, 29 centimetres. Absolutely delighted with that. A couple of nice flukes. quite decent size for up here, around the 30 centimetre, 31 centimetre mark. No sea trout, which I'm quite surprised about. It looked quite trouty today, but we're getting late in the year for them. I don't know how this beach fishes for trout, to be honest. I don't know if it's a good beach or not for trout. I know I've only ever had one or two myself, and that was up the other end of the beach. So I'm just going to get these in, get tidied up, take my rubbish back home with me. As I say, this has been a real joy being back out here again today catching fish. Thanks for coming out again, really appreciate it, and we'll see you the next time. Cheers folks.